We have some big news right now. MAGA Republicans are turning against Donald Trump, and it looks as though MAGA is on the verge of a possible civil war over everything that's happening between the FBI and the Department of Justice and the Epstein files. MAGA is just not satisfied with what the Trump administration is doing and the narrative Donald Trump is pushing himself. You have some of Donald Trump's most loyal people on the internet saying now that he has turned his back on them, on essentially the cause, on MAGA, and it looks like it's only getting worse. He wants to move on, right? He wants to tell the world about Rosie O'Donnell and try to revoke her citizenship. He wants to distract his own base, seemingly, from the issues that they care about. And right now, they're very unhappy. And it looks as though it's only going to continue and it's only going to get worse if Trump does not do something fast, whether it's potentially firing Pam Bondi, removing the head of the FBI. Stay tuned.
All I can say, I was a dumb voted for Trump only because of my beliefs. People around me encouraged it. I can think for myself, yes. But I felt at the time that was the better choice. Now I'm looking at it with everything going on. It was the worst decision I ever made. I wanted not to vote. But people said you won't be able to have a say in anything if you don't vote. I totally regret this. I shouldn't have voted at all.
I have never seen more videos of MAGA leaving the movement than I have the last 2 days because of the Epstein files. And with that, I'm also seeing a ton of hate comments and stitches their way, and I get it. You know how I feel about that crowd, but hear me out. Cult deprogramming has never started with facts. People don't leave cults because all of a sudden logic and truth hits them. It starts with the little cracks in their belief system. Maybe a promised event didn't happen. Maybe their leader is starting to contradict some of the core values. Slowly, that contradiction creates discomfort, and usually one of two things will happen. One is they will double down that no matter what, we're here to stay, or two, they start to question everything. The instinct to hit them with, oh my God, it took this for you to get it, and where have you been all along, and it's too late now. But people who tend to fall for cults are looking for community and acceptance. So the more we push them, the more they're going to go back to their echo chambers where the current MAGAs are waiting to engulf them back. Truth is, the best person to reach a current MAGA is a former woman. And that's just human nature. We're more inclined to listen to someone who's been where we are than someone who's been challenging and fighting us from the start. We don't need perfect allies. We need loud ones. And let's be honest, the only person louder than a current MAGA is hopefully a former one.
As part of this Leaving MAGA series where I explained that I left MAGA years ago, I want to address the comments that are saying, well, it wasn't the racism that made you leave. It wasn't this, it wasn't that. It was all of it. And it took me going to college to realize that my worldview was wrong, because you have to realize I was surrounded by racist people. I was surrounded by bigots. And when I was able to leave and get educated, I realized all of those things were wrong. So yes, it was the racism for me. It was the bigotry. It was the mocking the disabled reporter. And I honestly, I didn't know about that until it was too late, because I was stupid and I did not pay attention. I was an uneducated voter. I voted for Donald Trump because other people around me were voting for Donald Trump, because that was the beliefs that I had. The religion that I had was what everybody else had. I was not my own person. And I had to do the self-work and take the time to make myself a better person. And coming from a small town where everybody's conservative, you don't even know what white privilege is. It took me leaving my small town to even learn that I had white privilege, and that you can have Black friends and still be racist, right? Like, I didn't understand that concept. So it's not just as simple as, well, he was racist, you should have never voted for him in the first place. I wasn't a good person. So I don't know how else to explain that. I had to learn what being anti-racist was. Not even just not racist, but anti-racist. Unless you've been stuck in a town where your worldview is just this tiny little bubble and it's what everybody else believes, you'll never understand. And I don't expect you to understand. I'm not asking for forgiveness. I'm not looking for people to pat me on the back and say, good job, glad you changed. But I just want others to understand where I came from so we can help other people deconstruct from the MAGA cult, because it is a cult. It is dangerous, and people are just either really uneducated or they're horrible people. And we're probably not going to get the horrible people out of the cult. But if it's someone like I was who is just sorely undereducated, there's hope, okay?
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel once again. So guys, majority of white Americans, they are now waking up, especially the MAGA people. They are now coming out realizing that they did a very big mistake for voting for DJT. So right now we are seeing that the MAGA, it is collapsing. Those people who they were MAGA people, right now they are quitting MAGA, and MAGA, it is now falling down. So kindly guys, I want you to watch this compilation of video and see how the MAGA people, they are quitting MAGA. Then I'll be back with more comment. All credit goes to the original creator of the video. I'm your host, Dash Lifestyle. Kindly remember this video, it is only for educational purposes. Remember to give a video a thumbs up.
So there's currently a trend going on TikTok right now with the hashtag leaving MAGA. And I originally went through this hashtag, saved a few videos of the people that are making content saying why they're leaving MAGA. And I was going to show it in this video. I have decided against that now, and I'm going to tell you why. Because all of them, every single one, their reason for leaving MAGA was because of something he's doing, Trump is doing, that is personally affecting them. For example, one of the women that made a video that she's leaving MAGA, her video has a caption that says, "The moment I regretted my vote for Trump." And it showed behind her a green screen of Trump signing the executive order that requires all federal employees to return back to the office. So like she's upset because she's been working from home since COVID, and now she has to get up and actually go to work. Another one was an employee that works in a warehouse, and the warehouse was apparently primarily staffed by undocumented immigrants, and they're nowhere to be seen. And so this guy is like by himself. He's like, there's not a soul in here. It's just me. Like, I can't do this alone. Like, why would Trump do this? Why would, like, these are the people that keep our country moving. Yeah, no shit. But it's a common theme. You see, it's a common theme why they're leaving. They're not leaving MAGA because Trump is an authoritarian wannabe dictator that is literally destroying our country in the first 3 weeks of his presidency. They are leaving MAGA because it's personally hurting them. You don't get to light your neighbor's house on fire, call the fire department, they put the fire out, and then look at your neighbor and be like, look, I did a good thing. No, you caused this. You voted for this. For what? For the economy, for the deportations, for the mean tweets, for the cheap gas. Like, you voted for it. Whatever reason you had, you voted for it. And there is nothing that you could say that could make up for the fact that what's happening right now is solely the fault of your own. We tried to tell all of you. We tried to tell you. I mean, half of the things that he's doing are promises he made during the campaign trail. And we were like, this isn't good. And you're like, yeah, but eggs, they're going to be cheaper. Well, now there's no fucking eggs because of the bird flu. So yeah, I guess eggs are cheaper. You can't even buy them. Yeah, you're saving some money. Good job. We're in a trade war with 3 different countries right now. And he's threatening Panama and Greenland. And literally anybody that doesn't agree with him, he's firing them. That's not how a president operates. That's how a dictator operates. I'm going to say this one last thing. I vote blue. I vote for Democrats because I care what happens to other people. You vote Republican because you care what happens to you. You see the difference?
This is going to be somewhat of a leaving MAGA story. Hi, I'm Bailey. I'm a blue dot in Oklahoma, and I used to be a Trump supporter. Now, I wouldn't say that I was like MAGA in the sense that like I wore all the hats, the shirts, and flew the flags and all the things. But no, I did vote for Donald Trump twice. I voted for him in 2016, and I voted for him in 2020. Now, when I voted for him in 2016, that was the first time I ever voted. I was fully on the bandwagon, and I was like full-blown conservative Christian. In 2020, when I voted for Donald Trump, I was actually deconstructing my faith, which plays a big part in why I voted for Donald Trump. My faith did. Because I was anti-abortion, I wanted conservative values. Even while I was deconstructing, I was still clinging on to a lot of ideals that conservative Christians tout. So I didn't really want to vote for Donald Trump in 2020, but it was one of those things that like I didn't like Biden, and I didn't want to call myself a Democrat, even though I was starting to more align with the values of the Democratic Party. Actually more of like leftist ideals, not even just Democrat. And so what happened, right? Why did you vote for him twice and then now you're a full-blown leftist? So I went to college, and that's not what you think it is. I didn't have liberal arts classes. I didn't have any professors that were liberals. If anything, I had more conservative professors, but I got a science degree. And in that science degree, I had to learn how to research. I had to learn how to cite my sources. I had to have deductive reasoning. I had to prove my point. I had to back it up with facts. And in doing that, I realized that my whole worldview was false. And again, in the meantime, I was deconstructing my faith. I was a Christian, and I was no longer believing in the God I had believed in for 20 plus years. And that chokehold that religion had on me, once I got rid of that, I was more capable of having empathy. I was more capable of seeing the world outside of my own bubble. So in 2022, I voted for a Democrat. And I don't regret it. Unfortunately, that Democrat did lose. It was for state superintendent. Love you, Gina, if you're watching this. But yeah, now I'm a full-blown leftist. Like, I didn't really ever even have a Democrat phase. I went from being a conservative Christian to being what I thought was libertarian, because I was like, both sides are bad. And then I just went full-blown to the left. And I'm happy to be where I'm at today. I love having empathy. I love caring for other people. I love fighting for the truth. I love fighting for justice. And yeah, so if you have any more questions about my story, please let me know and I'll tell you. I'm an open book.
I'm regretting my vote for Donald Trump. I am now unemployed because of him. We were head research in the development of do bears shit in woods, and if a tree falls in the woods and no one's around, does it make a sound? We were leading that, and now it's gone. I 100% regret my vote for Donald Trump.
Okay, so this is hilarious. I just saw this white lady on here complaining that she just lost her job because she was hired under the diversity, equity, and inclusion program at her work. And you can see she didn't want to say it, but she really wanted to be like, but I'm not black. But that's not what diversity, equity, inclusion meant. The #1 recipient of DEI hires is white women. The #1 people who have benefited the most from this whole affirmative action and DEI hired has been white women, 100%. And now all these white women who voted for Donald Trump are going to find out that DEI included them. And I'm sorry, but this is one of the best fuck around and find out moments yet, because these women are the ones who deserve to be fired. I'm sorry, like, if you voted for Donald Trump and you get fired because you were a DEI hire, don't come looking to me for sympathy.
If no one's gonna say it, I'll fucking say it. If it takes you being personally affected by what is going on in this country. If it takes you, a white person, I can assume, if it takes you being personally affected by what's going on in the country right now to start paying attention, I'm sorry, but we're not the same. I'm sorry. We do not share the same morals. We do not share empathy. And we do not share a table. You do not get my ear, my eyes, or my mother attention. If it takes you being personally affected to give that families are being ripped apart, that trans people are being denied existence, that equal rights initiatives are being taken away, if it takes you being personally affected and your gas price is going up and your egg price is going up and now you're mad, hi, welcome to the conversation. But we are not the same. Let's just draw that line in the sand really quick. You and me, not the same, not friends, not peers, not equals. Welcome to the revolution, but back of the line. I'll say it.
I was at the grocery store and I was talking to the lady in front of me in line. The cashier was ringing up her stuff and she was watching her total go up. She goes, "Oh my gosh, this is ridiculous." And I said, "I know, everything is so expensive." And she goes, "It's just ridiculous." And I was like, "Yep." And then she goes, she got real quiet. She goes, "I can't believe they lied." And I was like, "Oh my gosh, who lied? I love this. Who lied?" Did somebody at the grocery store lie? She goes, "Donald Trump and all the Republicans, they lied. They said everything was going to be less expensive, more affordable. Groceries would be cheaper, gas would be cheaper, living expenses for the average American would be cheaper." And I was like, she goes, "But they lied. It's not true." I was like, yeah. And I told her, I said, I would have told you before you ever voted that he was lying and that wouldn't ever come true. But you probably wouldn't have listened to me. And she goes, "You're right. I probably wouldn't have." I was like, "What?" And she just goes, I feel awful. I feel awful that I voted for him. I feel like I let myself down. I feel like I let my family down. I feel like I let my kids down." And I was like, hey, I get it. I really do. It's so easy to beat yourself up over choices that you've made, but you got to give yourself some grace. You know better, you do better, and that's all you could do, And she just goes, "Yeah, you're right." And she goes, "I wish there was a lemon law for voting." And I go, "Oh, you know what? I wish there was too, because I guarantee you half the folks that voted for him would have returned that right to the voter dealership. Right on back to the voter dealership." She goes, "You're probably right." Anyway, I just am so frustrated. Because if they just would have done their research, if they would have listened to a voice outside, the little conservative bubble, maybe they would have been like, "Oh, maybe I should look into that." Not openly just "Oh, I'm going to disregard everything I believe and I'm going to go with that." But maybe plant a seed, to look into things for themselves. Use Google. Find some information, outside of whoever was talking to them, through the TV, through the phone, through the news, whatever. They just would have anyway, it's so frustrating. But they're realizing that they made a mistake, which is great. It's just a little too late. But I hope, right, that it's a good learning experience for them and that they take that into their midterm elections, right? And they vote according to would they've actually looked into and pick people who would actually benefit them and their families the most, right? Instead of just voting red or blue. And maybe even into, like, you know, the the next presidential election, you know. We don't just vote red or blue because that's what we've always done. You know, we vote for somebody who would actually benefit the majority of Americans, right? So they're realizing it's just too late.
They took my wife.
This man who wished not to be identified says his wife is from Venezuela and has lived in the United States for a few years. She was one of 3 people taken from this home. I'm told the 2 others were men who worked in construction. You see them here. This video, only 1 minute and 52 seconds long, we do not see his wife being removed from the home. But this is a picture of her that he keeps in his wallet. Her name is Vianis Ramirez, and he says she was in the process of becoming a United States citizen.
She already had a court date. She was good. Everything's good. He just came in and snatched her.
These are pictures from the Department of Homeland Security detaining other undocumented men and women in Broward County.
It's despicable what they're doing right now. It's very embarrassing.
President Donald Trump arrived at his Trump National Golf Resort in Doral Saturday, set to host GOP leaders for a conference. This man hopes this message makes it to him.
If I get a chance to talk to you, man, yo, please, man, let's work something out. So you, man, let me keep my wife here in the United States, man. She deserves to be here, man.
ICE reports nearly one.
Hey everybody, Rich coming to you here at leavingmaga.org. I want to make a particular appeal today to MAGA Americans. I really don't believe that what is happening in our country now is something that you want. But I understand that it's not a natural act for us to admit that we believed lies and that we acted upon them and that we allowed those lies to shape our being and our personhood and our identity. And Leaving MAGA does not judge you. We do not ostracize those who have doubts. You are welcome with us at our community. And for friends and family who are out there who have friends and family in MAGA, we are here for you as well for support. Make sure that you follow us at our socials, leavingmaga.org. Get on our newsletter. Make sure you're subscribing. Empathy is much more preferable than scorn. Thanks so much, everyone. Appreciate your support.
Who did you vote for today?
I voted for Donald Trump.
And why did you vote for Donald Trump?
I know that's jarring. I never thought I would vote for Donald Trump in my life. So actually, I'm from Houston, Texas, and in Texas usually goes Republican. And I am a hardcore Democrat, and I wanted Kamala to know that she lost a Democrat to Donald Trump because every time she interviews and she's asked about her policies, she usually says, well, I'm better than Trump, and I don't think that's a good answer, so I voted for Donald Trump.
So you, in essence, you did it to punish the Democratic Party.
Yeah, I did it to punish the Democratic Party.
And wouldn't you think that a lot of people say the better way to go is a third party if you wanted to vote with that strategy?
I didn't vote third party because Jill Stein is anti-vaccine, and I'm not anti-vaccine. Therefore, she didn't align with some of my ideals, and I voted for Trump.
And what difference will this make between the current government and Donald Trump?
So, I think Donald Trump is just a change. I think they're both bad. And I think we're screwed either way. But I think I felt very betrayed by the Democrats, and I could not vote for a Democrat this time. And so my plan, honestly, was to vote for Trump and get out of America.
Hasn't Trump openly expressed hatred for Muslims and minorities?
He has. And his brother-in-law actually is a Zionist. Like Jared Kushner is a Zionist. And I knew that going into that. But the reason why I voted for Donald Trump, knowing that, is because both of them are Zionists. And both of them are going to help the Zionist agenda. At least with Trump, I know what we're getting. Kamala, on the other hand, she says that she's going to stop the war. She says she's going to give aid, and she's not. With Donald Trump, I know what's going to happen. I know who he is. He's a very straightforward person. And I respect that he's straightforward. Either way, we're voting for genocide.
Do you think all this even makes a difference?
You have to show up to the polls, and your voice has to count. And I do really believe in voting.
Why not just boycott the whole voting movement?
Well, I live in Texas, so I had to vote Ted Cruz out. For the record, I voted straight Democrat down the ballot except for president.
Do you have any predictions this election season?
I think Kamala's going to win. That's just what the polls are looking at. Makes me sad. I think Kamala is also going to win Michigan, which kind of makes me really angry. And I think a lot of Americans threw their vote away. But again, my plan was actually to vote and then move to Qatar. So
I'm really starting to regret my vote. Don't pretend you didn't know it was going to go like this. Everyone knew. Wasn't expecting him to be anti-cancer funding. This is the exact same party who campaigned on defunding the Department of Education. This is the exact same party who year after year after year refuses to fund free school lunches for children. This is the exact same party who voted against removing BPAs, a known carcinogenic, out of baby bottles. And you are surprised that they're against funding cancer research? I mean, it's the Republicans. They're trying to actively get rid of the polio vaccine. Your party is anti-intellectual. They do not like science, and you're surprised that they don't want to fund cancer research? Your guys' party is against any social programs for absolutely anyone. They don't want to help anyone or anything except themselves. You have voted billionaires into office, and you are surprised that they don't want to fund cancer research. Wow, this is the biggest, funniest, most bestest FAFO moment, isn't it? When you guys are crawling back simply because you're realizing, oh my gosh, voting for that man was absolutely... Anyways, my name is Mercedes Chandler. Give me a follow or you won't see my faces again. Thank you. Bye.
I hear what you guys are saying about the whole don't shame MAGA back to the far right. Like, all of these people are waking up and we need to welcome them with open arms, because we don't want the left to ostracize them so that they feel like all they have is the right. And then we just like repeat the cycles and we push them further and further away. I hear what you're saying. And it does make sense logically. Like, oh, we should resist the urge to say, I told you so. Oh, we shouldn't shame them for not knowing any better. We need to all come together now because it's not right versus left. It's up versus down and all that kumbaya bullshit. Okay. I get it. I am not one of those people. Because two things can be true at the same time. We can applaud the return of the prodigal son while also holding that ass to the fire. After the Civil War ended, Northern white people and the government in general didn't stand on business hard enough. And that's why we have MAGA today. Let's be clear about that. All of those Confederates that should have been executed the day they decided to become traitors against the United States of America, the day they decided to lay down their lives and give their last breath in defense of slavery, they all should have been, I don't know if you can see my hand. Let me do it again. You know what I'm saying? They all should have got a musket to the face. And because they didn't, because we took it easy on them, because we chose to prioritize their humanity while they ravaged other people's humanity, that Confederate mindset, that delusional, completely detached from reality, hateful, violent, traitorous, animalistic mindset has been allowed to seep through the annals of American history like the virus that it is. And now what we have today is a large portion of the population that is still fully accepting of sicknesses, sicknesses to humanity, cancerous beliefs that eat away at not only their humanity, not only do these people's beliefs corrode their own soul, they corrupt the soul of others and the collective soul of humanity. Because let's be clear about what the these people have done over centuries. They have weaponized that holy book that they call a Bible and beat people over the heads with it until their brains were bashed in. Like, to be clear, racism is the reason why we don't have universal health care. Hatred against women is the reason why we don't have affordable daycare or federally mandated paid maternity, paternity, and leave or parental leave. To be clear, these people's hateful, divisive, corrosive, cancerous values and belief systems are the reasons why America is severely lacking in all of the tools and resources that make those Europeans, those smelly, no AC having Europeans, have a better quality of life than we do. I don't know why Europeans just caught strays. I'm just mad. And it's okay to be mad, is what I'm trying to say. I fully understand that there are a lot of people in this world that are born into darkness. It's as simple as that. I was born into the light. Can't relate. There are a lot of people in this world. When I say darkness, I mean darkness on all levels. And that doesn't necessarily indicate abuse, because darkness can mean darkness of the intellect, ignorance, darkness of the spirit, spiritual confusion. People who are spiritually confused believe that the Christian thing to do is send Mexicans and Guatemalans and other Latinos to Alligator Alcatraz and to bomb Gaza. Because in their spiritual confusion, they believe that they're the good guys in all of this. In their spiritual confusion, they have no media literacy because they can't see straight. And they think that Superman is coming for them now. They think that the movie Superman is coming for them now. I understand how soul deep, how DNA deep this shit goes, and that people don't have a choice what they are born into, but they do have a choice of who they become as an adult. I do not buy into all of that. Oh, well, they were raised this way, so they don't know any better. All that. We were all raised in certain ways that we have deep and undone in adulthood. What I'm not about to do, and what I do not encourage you to do, is coddle these. I'm trying to figure out a way to say it that doesn't get this video taken down and doesn't come across as bullying the less intelligent among us. Because I'm really, actually not that nice of a person. But I'm trying to be, because the algorithm likes niceness. So let's think about this before I speak. These people, most of them, have dedicated their lives to making the rest of us uncomfortable, to trying to strip away people's rights, to excluding people who look different from them or worship different from them or dress different from them or believe different from them from what they perceive as the light and the love. Their entire belief system is based on exclusion and righteous vengeance, righteous anger, righteous grievance, righteous everything, because they put the name of Jesus in everything, those blasphemous motherfuckers. Their entire raison d'etre is making people they don't like uncomfortable. They voted for Trump to own the libs. They talk about Trump at family dinner when you've begged them not to make you uncomfortable. What I am not about to do, and what I do not encourage anybody to do, is to spare them the discomfort of their choices or try to save them from the mental and emotional fallout that is the consequences of their actions. Don't take that away from them. that is not yours to take. Their discomfort, this cognitive dissonance that is now starting to send all these people spiraling into, is everything I believed a lie? Yes. Everything you believed is a lie. Yeah, you up big time. You big time. Do not save them from the discomfort and the earth-shattering ego death that causes. It is not our job to keep coddling white people. That's what I'm trying to say. They don't need to be coddled. They need a kick in the ass. And God damn it, I got to give it to them. Because for better or for worse, Trump was the only one that was going to be able to give them the kick in the ass they need to make sure that this doesn't happen again. All of this Confederate-rooted hatred, greed, and bigotry and shit, stomp it out. Don't let it happen again.
So guys, I hope you have watched that video and you have seen how Maga, it is collapsing. Right now, the Maga people, they are now realizing that these people, they made a mistake for voting for DGT, after voting for deportation, after these people voting for racism, after these people voting to punish the other people of the color. But right now we are seeing that all these punishment that these people, they voted so that they can punish black people, it is also punishing them. We have been seeing majority of the Maga farmers, they are going bankrupt simply because they voted for deportation. So right now they are realizing that they are now going through the same challenges and the struggle they voted to punish they voted to punish the other people. So they are realizing that these people they are realizing that they made a big mistake, and right now they are quitting Maga. But what I can tell them, it is right now it is too late. These people, they are quitting Maga right now because these people, they are going through the same challenges and the struggle that they wanted the black people to experience. If these people, they won't be going through that same challenges and the struggle, these people will not be quitting Maga. In fact, we know for a very long time, for so many years, these people that have been voting against their own interests, these people that have been voting to punish other people. But right now, they are the people who are going through that challenges and the struggle they voted for others to go through. So I have some of the comment here that I want to read for you. And also guys, you can share your thoughts on the comment section. Tell me, what do you feel about right now these people quitting Maga, and also how Maga, it is collapsing. But I remember Donald Trump, he came out and told these Maga people when they were asking Epstein file, Donald Trump, he told them that right now he doesn't care about the Maga people. He don't want their support. So you can see how Donald Trump, he has turned out to be, because he told them on the face he doesn't care about Maga. He don't want their support, because Donald Trump, he used these people, used them to get in power. But right now Donald Trump, he dumped them, and these people, they are not happy. So let's read some of the comment here that majority of people, they have come out and share. So this one is saying that Canadian here, we are refusing to go to the US. We are refusing to buy product made in the US. We are refusing to patronize US businesses. It's not all about the tariff. It's all about the first state heroic. It's all about the possibility of being disappeared. Yeah, you can see also people, they don't want right now America. And also because of the Maga, the bad choice for voting against their own interest, we have been seeing people, they are now avoiding to go in America. And I've been telling you that America, it is collapsing. This first world country, this dream country that so many people, they have been seeing, right now it is falling down. So this one is saying that you are all F up. The USA is completely laughing stock for the rest of the world. Yeah, right now people, they are laughing at United States. Right now people, also tourists, they have been avoiding United States. I did a video and show you how the airports in the United States, they are airports, they are empty. Visitors, they are not visiting. You can imagine seeing how the immigrant people, they are being treated in America, and you are a visitor, you are a tourist, you want to go in America. Will you go to America seeing how the immigrants, they are being deported, seeing how ICE, they are they are detaining people, how ICE they are like how ICE they are abducting people. So this, it has made majority of people to fear to go in America. So this one is saying that this one is saying that racism is very expensive. I've been telling you guys that racism, it is very expensive. This one is saying that the world can and will live without America. Yeah, so right now the Americans, they need to realize that they are not the people, the other countries, they will live without them. You know, this America, being the superpower country, what it knows is that the world will not run without them. No, right now these people, they need to realize that the world will continue without America, and the first shall be last. This country, which it is first country, it will soon become the last country. So this one saying that they are getting what they voted for. I am so happy for them. This one is saying that he's so happy for them because right now they are getting what they voted for. This one saying that who knew authoritarianism would kill the party. So this one is saying that we are boycotting the US, we are boycotting traveling to the US, we are boycotting American product. Yeah, so people are right now avoiding to go to United States, and also they are avoiding their product, and this it is all because of the Magas. This was saying that reality is whatever the dear leader say it is. Enjoy your mad king, America. So this one is saying that those who love Donald Trump are those who don't know Donald Trump. Exactly. Those people who really love Donald Trump, they don't know him. But right now, majority of Americans, they are having a rude awakening. They are now waking up, especially those people who voted for him. Right now, they are now waking up and they are now seeing the true color of DJT. So this one is saying that much better place to travel to than the United States. Yeah, this one is saying that I am happy that these MAGA individuals are hitting the ground hard. So this was saying that 60 billion lost in Vegas already. Lesson, think before you vote. This one saying that, well, MAGAs wanted to tax on tips. With no tips, there are no taxes. So this was saying that you are a government overreach. Typical MAGA response. What show that an idiot they truly are. This was saying that this one is saying that vote red, vote for poverty. Yeah, we saw this one now. People saying that vote for red, vote for poverty. This is the karma. Hate is expensive and is a disease. Yeah, MAGA pretending everything going well. Epstein file. Yeah, you remember when the MAGAs, they were asking for Epstein file, and Donald Trump, he came out and called them stupid. You people, you need to concentrate with the other thing rather than Epstein file. So Donald Trump, he told them in their face that these people, if they are still asking for Epstein file, they are so foolish, they are so stupid. So this one is saying that there is a dump and then there is MAGA dump, a whole different level of dump. Even when in Scotland, Hells realized this. So this was saying that this is what Trump meant by no tax on tips. Can't tip what you don't make. Yeah. So this one saying that even right now the tips, it is being taxed in America. So this one saying that why blame price when its people are afraid to come here and not be taken and jailed. Yeah, you are a government overreach. Answer just like a child. So this one is saying that no everyone came on no. Now everyone, come on, gather around and stream. Thank you, MAGA. Thought and tariff from Canada. So this is saying that to the lady speaking from the front seat of a car, you absolutely nail it. I hope to see more of you in the future. Well done. So this one is saying that, let me just read it for you, this one. What some of these people didn't realize or didn't care about is that immigrants pay into social security but are ineligible to use the benefit, pay state and federal tax which contribute to infrastructure, and if they own homes, they contribute to emergency personal, schools, and other other country specific funding. Yeah, so these people, they knew that these immigrant people, they are not contributing to anything in the United States, but right now they are now realizing that the immigrants, they were so important to them. You can see how the farmers, they are really crying. The farmers, they are crying because they voted for deportation, and the immigrant people, that the ones who are helping them in the farm. So right now they don't have people to work in their farm, and that's why they are going bankrupt. So kindly guys, subscribe if you haven't, and also share your thoughts on the comment section. I'll be reading it in my next video. Thank you so much guys. Remember to give a video a thumbs up and also subscribe.